is Allison Lloyd, editor of Document Strategy Media. Thank you so much for joining me today. On September 23rd, Neopost, one of the biggest names in the mailing and document solutions industry, announced plans to rebrand their corporate identity under Quadient. We got a chance to chat with Tamir Sigal, Quadient's Chief Marketing Officer, about what this change really means for the realigned company and for the industry as a whole. I hope you enjoy it. So my first question for you is about your recent announcement that Neopost will be rebranding under one unified brand of Quadient. It's really big news for this company that has been around for years and carries with it a lot of brand recognition, as well as a loyal customer base and an established leadership position in the industry. In January of 2019, Neopost unveiled their Back to Growth strategy. And in that strategy, you pinpointed four main areas of growth, including customer experience management and customer communications management, mailing solutions, business process automation, and an exciting new market of parcel lockers for the supply chain and the e-commerce industries. Now that these four distinct markets will be housed under one unified brand, can you define what this strategy will look like and where you think this company will be driving into the future?
So Neopost has a very rich history, starting its roots in the mailing and postal markets. When Neopost was formed, the world was very simple. People and companies communicated using post or mail. Obviously, you had the data center or the call center, but the primary way of communicating was done via mail and post. And Neopost has built a great business and a great customer base on that business, and having market-leading solutions that address very simple needs in terms of just mailing out some simple letters to very complex processes where you have to sort and fill the envelopes and then ship that out in a very large scale in a compliant manner. However, as you know, the world has absolutely changed and has evolved in the last 15 years, where the world has transitioned into the digital world, where we're no longer relying on mail and post, where people are relying on information either from their computers, whether it's the browser or just getting email communications, or through their tablets, mobile devices, or even their wearable devices. So the world has absolutely evolved very quickly. And the challenge for a lot of our customers and companies is how do they keep up with the technology and with the different ways of communicating. So in January of this year, our new CEO, Jeffrey Godet, put together a strategy that puts a focus in terms of where our customers need help in terms of connecting with their customers. So when we're talking to our customers, one of the key attributes that they rely on our solutions is about connecting to people. So a lot of our customers are banks, insurance companies, law firms, universities, real estate agencies, where they need the ability to be able to connect better with their clients or with what matters. And what matters to me on a Thursday might be different than what matters to me next week. So for example, today, I might be waiting to see the results of a medical result or of a recent medical test that I did, where next week I might be going through the process of buying a house and all the different communications and connections of going through that process. And then next Friday, I might be going to a wedding or to a birthday party, and I need to pick up the present on the way to the party and pick it up at a locker. So when we looked at the Neopost business across all the different domains, we wanted to focus where our customers saw value, but also in areas that made sense to grow the organization. So clearly, mail and postal is still a very important piece of our business because that's our heritage and that's the root of the organization. But when you look at other items of communication and connections, it's about the experience of that connection. It's the experience of of receiving that investment portfolio or the results of a medical test, or going through the process of an insurance claim or a car accident that you have to go through that process. And then in terms of the e-commerce, one thing that was very clear is the last mile and the experience and convenience that consumers get. Right, so we all rely on our phones and computers to buy shopping. And I took my kids to the mall last week, and I was just amazed of how empty it was. And it's because obviously e-commerce has completely taken over, and it's no longer just shipping the package and receiving the package. It's about being able to pick up the package or the parcel when it's convenient for me, and then in a safe and convenient location. So when we look at rebranding the organization, we thought that it was important to have a single brand that brings our solutions together. So it's clear in terms of what our focus is and in terms of the value that we bring to our customers.
In your growth strategy, you pinpointed acquisitions and divestment as a major part of your growth strategy. Can you shed a little bit of light on where your company is planning to make investments or what kind of markets and products you're looking to acquire? And does that include potentially divesting some of your current mailing products as well?
So I want to be clear that we are not planning to divest any of our mailing or postal products. Actually, quite the opposite. We're planning to invest into our mailing and postal. We made that very public on our earnings calls and financial calls. That it's an area that we really haven't invested tremendously in the last 3 years. And Jeffrey and the management team made it very clear that we are reinvesting in the postal mailing business. We have a couple of major releases coming out this year in 2019. That's really exciting. And then another product announcement and new releases early of 2020. So I want to confirm and validate that we are still investing in the mailing and postal business, because it's an area that our customers rely on us, and an area that we're seeing that there's still opportunity for new solutions and innovation. In terms of acquisitions and divestitures, since we're a public company, we're very careful on what we can say and what we should say to the market. It is an area that we put focus on, so we have a new M&A team in the organization. And one of the things that we are emphasizing and stressing is that the acquisitions are going to be in the four main pillars. So we have the Quadient Experience, Quadient Business Process Automation, Quadient Mail Related Solutions, and Quadient Parcel Locker. Those are the areas that we're going to invest in and make acquisitions in those four areas. So we made an announcement this year to the acquisition of Parcel Pending, based out in California, Irvine, California. It was a pretty big acquisition for the company, and it's an area that we're seeing obviously tremendous growth in the parcel locker business, and our additional acquisitions will happen in the other areas of our solutions. So I can't reveal too much because we're a publicly traded company, but it's an area that we are committed to growing. In terms of divestitures, as everything, we're looking at the entire portfolio, seeing what makes sense to continue investing, and where it makes sense to divest. But at this point, we are 100% committed to the four solution areas in terms of customer experience management, business process automation, mail-related solutions, and the parcel locker solutions.
A very important sector of your product portfolio for us, and the magazine especially, is your customer communications management products, as well as your entrance into the customer experience management and customer journey mapping markets, as well as the work that you've done in both of those areas. I know I've written about this in the past, but until recently, the messaging out of Quadient has been that you're going to be very strategic on how you use the cloud. And that it was never, we're going to take all of our products and throw them into the cloud. Because you felt that that was not a competitive differentiator for you. Can you highlight what the path to the cloud looks like for Quadient and how you intend to expand your cloud footprint for all your products.
You're absolutely right. In terms of cloud and the traditional customer communication management, the CCM space has completely, I don't want to say completely, but has definitely been transforming and evolving. Evolving is probably the best word in terms of our strategy and where we're going. So if we had this conversation, I think we did maybe 4 years ago in terms of cloud, it was clear from our customers that they were not ready to move everything, at least the entire CCM process and suite into the cloud. It just was not on their radar or an important priority for them. So when we put together our strategy and we put together kind of a 3-year strategy, but then we put it into different milestones and into a roadmap. What we've done is we started putting certain modules and components of the CCM process into the cloud. And you mentioned a couple of them, like customer journey mapping. We have omni-channel coordination, and we have certain capabilities that we've put in the cloud and made them SaaS, software as a service enabled, meaning customers could just log on to our website and sign up for those services. And what was beautiful about a lot of those services, or all of the services, is they could connect to their Inspire platform extremely easily, and it made sense to put some of those components. What we're seeing now is that there's an appetite for customers to move into the cloud. It's definitely not broad-based, but we're seeing signs that companies are looking at that. And it goes to the business process automation discussion we had in terms of digitizing processes. So there's no secret. Companies are looking to optimize their processes and looking them to be digital first, not digital only, but digital first processes. During those discussions, we're talking about how do we move the CCM process into the cloud and make that focused on the experience of the customer. And with our customer base, specifically in the financial services and insurance, and even in the healthcare, which is great to see, by the way, is that they're looking at the processes in terms of how do we make this more customer friendly or customer focused, and how do we make this more digital focused and friendly. As we're looking at the process and looking at the different communications and connections, we're looking at moving more and more capabilities into the cloud. So specifically things like a designer, right? Be able to put that capabilities more and more into the web. It's certainly in terms of correspondence, of how companies manage correspondence, specifically like insurance companies, be able to manage all of that through cloud-based or just web browser with no technology or software installed. So that is absolutely still part of our strategy. I don't think everyone is going to transition to cloud overnight, but I definitely see a lot more adoption, or certainly a lot more open discussions of moving on-premise to the cloud. And it's going to take some time for our customers to acknowledge that they have to, or that they are moving, or that they should be moving. But it all goes down to three things. It comes down to their customer base. Are their customers willing to move more and more to the digital? It goes to their internal infrastructure, right? In terms of, are their systems and their applications moving to the cloud? And then it goes into how much data and what data do they rely on to provide that customer experience. So when we're having those questions with our customers and conversations and strategy, we want to listen. We listen a lot to our customers, and then we react with relevant innovation that addresses their business needs.